yourself, what your nickname is, what your full name is, in which division you play, and what's your what do you do in Quakeworld?
My name is Martin. I'm from Denmark. My nickname is Zalon. I play in the Division 3 of the EQL, and my main job on the scene is as an organizer. I run the Quakeworld.nu site, and I'm an admin in almost all the leagues. And I organize Qhlan tournaments as well. And I work in different development projects as well. By the way, when are you going to release this?
I don't know exactly when I have time to edit it.
But will it be after December 1st?
Yes, it will.
Because if it's after December 1st, I can tell you about the projects we were working on, because we're going to release it on December 1st, but I don't want to tell people that.
Yeah, then if you tell me that, then I'm not going to release it further. That's
okay.
No problem at all. Okay, then tell me.
How much are you filming?
Yeah, it's about this. Yeah.
So no Power King?
No, we don't see it, yeah. So what projects are you currently working on?
We have been for since 2008. We've been planning, or I've been planning for a new version of the Quakeworld.nu website, and it's been I've started on it 5 times, but never had the time to actually continue working on it and finishing the features. But right now it's 90% done. We have all the features we already have, and we have prepared to incorporate the map site as well. And it got demo uploading, and some of the new features is it has a server browser. If you have played Quake Live or have seen Quake Live, it has a browser-enabled server browser where you can join the games and you can see friends and teammates where they're playing. We have that as well, and then we have league and tournament system. And we have player profiles. We both have user profiles and player profiles. Like on the Wikipedia, the Quakeworld wiki, we have all the teams that the player played for, but we get the information from the results of the EQL matches, the SmackDown matches, the NQR matches, and we'll have all the matches from. The only thing we don't have is some seasons of Duel Mania. But I have gathered everything since 2003. So we will have a backlog of all those games, and we will have the demos as well. So you can download exactly that demo from that game without having to search through Challenge TV for hours and hours to find the SmackDown final of 2004. And then every team will have a team profile, where you can see their latest matches, and you can see what players they currently have and what players they had in the past. And then we're gonna have statistics. Have you on the forum? There's this guy Cyanide. He made an algorithm for something called Quake Rank, and we're gonna use that on all those match scores. So for each year, we will have the best team, the best player for 2004, 5, 6, and so on. I've used quite a lot of time making that, but for the first launch, we're just gonna stick with the features that are done, that we already have, just all remade from scratch. Also, so we won't get hacked every month, hopefully. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
As you said before, you're investing pretty much time in hosting LANs, adminning tournaments, relaunching the site and such like. So the main question, which is interesting, is you do it all for free. Yeah? What is your motivation to continue and to go on, and what your motivation in doing this?
Well, my motivation for organizing and admitting leagues, organizing this LAN as well is, well, you're here, this is your first time, right? And I think when I was 15, I was at my first Quake LAN, and it was the best experience ever because everyone was playing Quake, and I just loved it so much. Then, like 5 years ago, I was at my first Q8 LAN, and I'm at LAN every second month because I organize a local LAN in my hometown. But it's nothing like it. I know maybe 2 people who play Quake. Here I meet up with guys I know from the net, and everyone is playing Quake. It just makes it so much more fun to be playing the game you love with a bunch of people who love the same game. And for the reason I'm organizing or admitting the leagues, it's more like, it's not because I want to, but people kind of quit and left, and then there was no one to take over, so I did that. I think before 2007, I didn't admin any leagues. I just did the Quakeworld.nu site, and I didn't write news items either. I just worked behind the scenes, but then the news writers left as well, so I got stuck doing that. So it's not because I want to do it, it's because if I am not doing it, who is doing it then? And it's kind of a passion of mine to just keep Quake alive. I played other games. In 2008, I played a lot of Call of Duty, and apparently I was good at that compared to Quake. So, but it's just not the same. In Call of Duty, you join a channel that's big. It was at the time it was the biggest channel on QuakeNet. You join it, you find a 2-2, and you play. You don't know the guys, and you'll never see them again. You'll never play them again. If you want to play a 2-2 in Quakeworld, you join a server. If you don't know the guys, you know they are faking it. It's like, you know everyone on the scene. It's not much anymore. It's not just the game. It's more the scene I'm interested in keeping alive. And if we don't have any active tournaments or leagues, the scene will die out, like it does in the summer period, for other reasons as well. But I guess that is why.
You mentioned an interesting point. The scene will be die if no one is contributing and if no one is playing, of course. So, in your opinion, what's the biggest problem? What does the scene needs most? What do you think?
Well, I think I can start over because I think I start everything with well. I think one of the biggest problems with the scene is everything we have now that we use, we were dependent on like the EQL website, and it's very bad. We are very dependent on the Quakeworld.nu website, and it's very bad. We're very dependent on Challenge TV site, and it is very bad. So like all the things we are very dependent on to run and organize or leagues or tournaments and put up media for it are not updated to what we need now. That is also why most of the things I do now have been automated in the new Quakeworld.nu website, so users can do it. And to bring more activity into the scene, we just need more tournaments. But it has to be easy to participate in the tournament. You have to be able to know when you're going to play your game. Like stuff like Duel Mania is fine because everyone who plays in Duel Mania is a Quakeworld player. They know you have to be on IC. You have to slap the player you're going to play against for 2 weeks, or at least four days before you get to play your game. But you can't do that with new players. If you want, I'm not saying we just need new players, but if we want new players, we have to make it easy for them to participate. I think one of the very good things they have in Quake Live is every weekend there's a duel tournament where it's an open duel tournament, everyone can sign up, and they play for 6-7 hours, 1 day. It's just a 1 day cup, and I think we should do that. Just have an open cup for the players who are active and then have like a rookie cup like every second weekend, and try to get some CPM players, some Quake Live players to test it out, give it like those 6 hours on a Saturday or Sunday, and then have some events like in Denmark, when the scene died out and people started playing international matches instead, to still have activity in the Danish scene. We didn't have much clans left. We had something called Enjoy Quake, where we gathered all the Danish players. It was like we could gather 16 or 32. We started out with 32, later it was 16, then 8, and then at the end it was just me and Paradox. But with the 16 players, we had 2 teams and play on Death 32C for like 4 hours, and we'll do that like once a month on a Sunday. That was something the older players who didn't want to invest that much time, they had time for 1 day in a weekend every month. And I think having to schedule games, the schedule means a lot, because like EQL, my team, we got 5 players. One of the players, that's Pepe, he's working every second week. He's working from 5 in the morning, and the other week he's working from 6, so he can only play every second week. And then we have other players who can play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. But we should be able to find like 2-3 days that we all can play. The problem is just if we show up and ready to play, we might not be able to find an opponent because we haven't scheduled any games. Should I do over the schedule part or what?
Yeah, please
Okay.
explain me.
And just stop.
Yeah, the problem is everyone is getting older and older.
Yeah.
So we all have family now and work to do. Like it's not like in the old days. What do you think? Will the scene die out if we are all getting families and don't have any time to play, or will some other generation join us? Some younger generation start playing Quakeworld again and help to help the scene to survive? Or what do you forecast for the future?
I don't think that people getting older and having families is that big of a problem, because it's all about priorities. If you like watching football matches, you go watch a football match on a Sunday. If you enjoy playing Quake, you play Quake on a Sunday. In my team, we have a Danish player. His name is Wimp. He's in the 40s, or I hope so, because else he's gonna kill me. And he has a wife and 2 kids, and he has had that for 12 years, and he has been playing Quake like all that time. And he can play 2-3 days a week. He just enjoys playing games rather than watching a movie or watching some game show on the TV. The problem is, if he has to play for 3 hours, he has to know that he can play for those 3 hours. If he shows up Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, or whatever for a game, and we have to sit there 2 hours to find a game, then he can only play 1 hour. We're not like 15-year-old kids who got this summer vacation and can play up all night. Some can play all night because they work on a different time, but I really think that we need to be better at scheduling games. If we look at there's been the EQL Pro, and then there's been the Nation Cups. They had scheduled games for every Sunday at 8, and that worked pretty well because every Sunday at 8 people were playing. The problem is now with the EQL, like it's always been a problem, there's no forced schedule. If you sign up your team, you can wait till the last week and play all your games. That means that for the first, if the season's 8 weeks, for the first 7 weeks, everyone else is going to have a problem with your team getting to play you. And then the last week you want to play everyone, but you can't because they can only play like 3 games a week or something. To me, it would be better if like you have to play 1 game a week or 2 games a week, and you have to play this clan first, then this clan. And you can't just pick, I want to play Slackers, I want to play Sudden Death, I want to play Fragomatic. You have to play the one that's scheduled for you that week. And if that team can't play that week, they'll push it for a catch-up week. I think that will help a lot.
The community itself has helped a lot to new players to get into the game more easily, like mouse-driven menus and FAQs and such like. But the physics of the game won't change, fortunately for us. Unfortunately for new players, because when you see new games like Battlefield, Call of Duty, they really helped new players getting into the game by making the game itself more playable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the physics of Quakeworld stay the same. Don't you think maybe it's isn't the time anymore for hardcore games like Quake? Are the society itself to be too softened for such a game, or?
I don't think it's. Nu siger kan vi løbe break? I start every answer with the same. Are you ready? Are we live? In my opinion, the game is not too hardcore. I think it's actually a plus for us because everyone knows if they ever played any Quake, they know that Quakeworld is a hardcore game, and I think also that attracts players because it's like if I can be good at this game, I can be good at any game. Like it's like people who want to be good at StarCraft 2. If they can be in Diamond, they can be like good at any RTS game. We have a lot of CPM players who play it because they don't have a team deathmatch scene. The problem with new players regarding the game being so hard and the learning curve being quite steep, I don't see it as a problem because I think it's something that we should tell players. You need to practice to be good at this game. If you don't want to practice, you shouldn't be playing it. And instead, we should just make it more available. And we have done that with Quake, and of course, more can be done. The biggest problem is if I go find some. I got a nephew. He's 14, and I got another one who's 16. If I go tell them, you should play Quake, I teach them to bunny jump, and I teach them to join servers, play a bit. What should they do after a week? There's nothing for new players to do. There's been for 3 years, there's been one that's just started, rookie tournament. And that's one tournament. And that's going to be going on for like 8 weeks. But what should those players do after those 8 weeks are done? We should have something that continues. Like, I thought the Quakeworld Dual League, if you remember that was very good because you could play in your own division and you could play a game a week. Unfortunately, it relied too much on the players themselves to play their games. It's like every ladder we start, it'll die out because it's like, who cares? We have to find our opponent, we have to report ourselves, we have to... The players don't really seem to care. So it has to be something that's interesting for the players and can run over time. So when you start the game, you start practicing, you can see that you're getting better and you will have something to do next week. Like I mentioned before with the one-day cups they have in Quake Live, the players who sign up, they know they're not going to win that tournament because the pros are in it as well. But they can see every week, they can see how far can I get. Like, I can get to round 4 now. Last week I only got to round 3. And then maybe 2 weeks later I can get to rounds 5 or 6. And I think we need something like that. The Quakeworld Dual League, that was a good thing, but it needs to be run in a different way to make it attractive for players to keep playing their games. I'm not sure how to do it, but it's something we should definitely look into.
to another topic. If you have 3 words to describe Quakeworld, what would it be?
Well, can I think about that and we do another one?
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the magic Quakeworld. Why is everyone who is really addicted to Quakeworld and going to play another game eventually come back to Quakeworld? What's the magic behind this? What's so special about this game?
Yeah, well, I did the well again. People are gonna toss me for that. The magic about Quakeworld, well, we used to say, and it was in Danish, but the saying was that no one ever quit Quakeworld. They just take a break. Like you see Strikers here at the LAN. I remember he said on IRC, "I'm never gonna play that game again," and he meant Quakeworld because he said he was done forever. And then suddenly he's back and he started practicing. Now he's playing with Slackers again, and he's playing at the high level. I played with a guy. His nickname was Valde, a Danish player. He played in a Danish clan called the Four Knights, and he later played in Die, the Imperial Executors, I think. And I remember him quitting 3 times. The first time he just went away. Then he came back and asked where the hell did he go? And he said, well, he got so addicted that he had to sell his PC, so he couldn't play Quake. He started out with deleting everything, because then he wouldn't be able to play because he would have to make his config and everything to set up. But eventually, after a few weeks, he would set everything up again, and he got very addicted again. So he sold his PC. Then 2 years later, he comes back. He had bought a new PC, and he thought he could manage his addiction. But then, like after 4 weeks, he was playing like 24/7 again. So after a few months, he was gone again. And then he joined RC, I think 3 years later, and he joined our channel and asked, "What's up? I guess you sold your PC again." Yeah, but now he was playing World of Warcraft, so. But I guess he didn't sell his PC for World of Warcraft. He's probably still addicted to that. But I think half a year ago, he actually joined IRC. I didn't speak with him. I just saw his nickname join the channel. He messaged me, but I wasn't online. So I don't know, maybe he can control it now, but he's not playing right now. But I expect him to be at some point. Niv, who is here, he plays with some very old Danish players. Or they're not that old, but they're old school players. They have like every second month, every third month, a Quakeworld LAN in Copenhagen, where they come like 8 old school players. They still enjoy playing the game, they just don't have time for it and the skill to compete. But they still meet up and talk about old times and playing some Quake.
What about you? You talked a lot about the other players. What about you? Why are you still addicted to it? And what's you fascinating about this game?
I don't really think I'm addicted to the game as much as the scene. It's more the scene. I don't really play other than the EQL matches. I sign up for everything I can and participate in as much as possible, but I'm not doing an effort anymore. I used to practice a lot. In 2007, I played in Veterans, and I played until we moved from Division 2 into Division 1. Then my skill wasn't good enough, and that's the last time I practiced, like playing games before a one-on-one tournament, warming up before 4-on-4. Now I just play practice with my teammates, who are all my real-life friends, or at least I.
Okay. Sorry. So, where do you have?
Shit. Yeah, I was saying, regarding my own team, I try to get like people I know in real life. Like, there's Razor here. He's used to be in our team. He's still in our team. He's just not active because he's living in Austria. But then we have NCP, who is an old friend of mine who's lived on my street. And then Wimp, he joined because he's Danish, and I've known him for quite a while. And I met him for the first time last year at Qhlan, but I've talked to him on IRC for many years. But the recent years, people have been dropping off. But once or twice, some old Danish players come back who I know and join up for a season or two. And the game itself, it's still addicted to play. Well, like when we hear, it's very fun to play. I can feel after playing a day or two that I even get better because I normally don't do that. And every Wednesday we have a local club meeting where I get to play 1 or maybe 2 games. But it's just for fun, and it's not because I can't stop playing Quake. I'm more addicted to the scene in the sense it's a lot of people I know and care about, or not, maybe not the people, but at least their identity online. I used to like read all the I still read all the forum posts, but I used to like participate in every discussion as well, and watching a lot of demos and watching the match reports and being on QTV and Quizmo camps back in the day. But I still enjoy that, and I think it would be hard if the scene died out. I don't know what to replace it with, because it's like my girlfriend, she had I could compare it a bit to her addiction to Facebook. She likes to know what her friends are up to, and she likes to watch my Facebook as well, because I have a lot of friends you don't know. It's fun to see what they're up to. I like to see what people in the Quakeworld scene are up to. I haven't been on Facebook for like 3 years. I started using it 4 weeks ago when my girlfriend dumped me, but else I don't.
Two last questions. What is your favorite weapon and what is your favorite map and why?
My favorite weapon, that's probably the rocket launcher. I would like to be good at the shaft, but it takes too much time, and I hate playing pub. Favorite map is DM2 if we're playing 4 and 4. Also will be DM4. I don't like here. I don't pick it as my home map. I pick CTN because I know a lot of people don't play that as much, and I'm better at it than I am at DM4. But I enjoy playing DM4 more. I just don't like playing it versus people who see us too much, like Razor does. He'll go to the armor room and just stay at yellow or red for like 5 minutes, and that is pain, even in an unserious match, because he thinks every match against me is serious because he's my friend. So you probably got players you got the same relationship with, where you have to win every time you're playing them. Yeah.
You already know what 3 words describe?
I don't know. Well, describing the scene or just the game? The game. Just the game. That's hard. I got one at speed, right? Well, what did the others say? You didn't ask them, okay. Well, I'm not sure I can answer that question. 3 words, just for the game. Well, speed, complexity, and strategy, I guess. That's 3 words that describes Quake quite well.
Okay. Yeah, we are finished, but do you have something in your heart you want to spread out to the world, or do you have anything to say? Then you can do it now.
I wish that more people would show up for this event, like Qhlan. At least we try to make it as good as possible. I'm sure if you ask the people who have been to Qhlan before, they say it's always fun and always delayed for the tournaments and finals, but that's just how it is. Last year we were like a lot of people and it was very fun. This is fun too, even though there's not that many. It's still a good atmosphere. It's just different, but you get to talk to everyone now that we're not that many. But I really wish that more people would show interest in showing up, so we could have a better event for more people. And we will try to get it organized during the spring next time. possibly in 3 to 4 months to do it during the most active time in the scene. The problem with the November date is that the scene goes idle in May, and we announced the LAN in June, so nobody knows about it. Then people come back in start mid-September, and there's like 3 weeks until the LAN, and they look at the signups, there's like nobody, because it's only the people who are always here who have signed up. So they care, why bother? There's not coming that many people. So I guess if we are announcing it during the most active time in the scene, and we are having it during the most active time in the scene, I'm hoping that more people will come. But I wouldn't mind doing a LAN just for 10 Quakeworld players. I've done that before in Denmark, and we could just do that again. I guess some people would show up, but it's more fun if we are 80 people. More 4-on-4, and especially it's more fun when we can have a 4-on-4 tournament consisting of like 5 good teams, 6 good teams, 8 good teams if we were lucky, like we used to do. But this draft thing we had this time was okay, so if it doesn't change, we'll just keep doing that. I think that's it.
Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for doing it.